May 2026 live. And it's the Icon back with some more wrestling for you guys for the wrestling going over that Saturday night's main event. I watched it on Sunday. I didn't watch it on Saturday because I ain't paying for Peacock no more. Like, like these things on Peacock show up like once every 3 months. But if I'm being honest though, Saturday night's main event was better than Backlash. And it felt more like a pay-per-view, like a PLE than Backlash did, especially with the backstage interviews. I actually really enjoy that, and I hope they keep that going. But before we get started for Saturday night's main event, hit that notification bell, like it or subscribe, check out my previous reviews for the wrestling and for other things, and let's get started. So, the first match of the night of the event was the women's six-man tag match, Rhea Bloody Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss versus Jade Cargill, Michin, and B-Fab. Right out the gate, I actually thought this was the best match of the night, and Michin MVP'd this puppy. Like, she took all the damage. Like, she carried I'm talking about on the women's side, on the babyface women's side and on the heel women's side. Michin carried both sides of this match, and she put in all the work. B-Fab did an awesome job as well. Like, she's definitely, you can tell, like, when you watch her in the ring, like, she's definitely improving. I mean, but when you wrestle, like, you know, like Charlotte Flair, you wrestle Rhea Ripley, like, you have no choice but to get better. And plus, she's around Michin all the time, so I assume that the two of them are, you know, like, are practicing and working out together. You know, Jade looked good as well. She played her role perfectly. And, you know, they all came out dressed like Michael Jackson to honor Michael Jackson, so that was nice. And when when the match got underway, they were telling the story, you know, about how, like, Rhea and Charlotte don't really still see eye to eye. They don't really click. But then towards the end of the match, there was a moment where Charlotte saved Rhea from getting beat up, and then Rhea saved Charlotte from getting beat up. And it's like, oh, are we best friends now? And then the two of them did the Mega Powers hug, the Mega Powers handshake. And then after they did the Mega Powers hand, like, that was the problem. The problem was they celebrated way too long. They celebrated too long over the fact that, like, oh, we're besties now. We love each other, blah, blah, blah. And then while they were celebrating, Jade knocked all of them over. And then she hit Rhea Ripley with the Riptide, and Jade Cargill got the 1, 2, 3, which is good because she needed that victory over Rhea Ripley to make her look strong. She does have the match against her at Clash in Italy, so I look forward to that. Hopefully they don't fuck her over. For all the people that were mad at Jade, they're like, oh, Jade doesn't defend the championship. Jade doesn't defend the championship. Please tell me when Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan defended their belts since they won them at WrestleMania. Yeah, I had all that smoke for Jade, but now that Rhea and now that Liv Morgan aren't defending their championships, like, there's crickets all over social media. That shit is wild. Like, shame on y'all for that. And then after that was over, you know, like, Jade caught him. She did the crotch top to, you know, to them. So it was a good victory for, you know, for her group, because that was the first time the three of them actually had a six tag together. So it was nice to see that. No fatal influence interference. So kudos to them. Kudos to the Storm and, you know, for her crew. Michin MVP of the night. And we are moving on. Next up, we had Sol Ruca versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And I like the backstage interviews that they do for Saturday Night's Main Event because it makes it feel more like a PLE. Sol Ruca botched on the mic again, like, she's stumbling over her words. She doesn't look confident. She's awkward as hell. And I swear to God, she wasn't ready for the spot. They should have chose Kalani Jordan over Sol Ruca, and the only reason why people are going batshit crazy over Sol Ruca is because she has a cool finisher. The rest of her, in-ring work, although it's impressive, it's not something people act like, oh my God, I've never seen that. Like, everybody does that shit. Like, there's nothing she's done that nobody hasn't done before. And she's been botching the Soul Snatcher like every single chance that she gets. She's not ready. Like, the confidence level isn't there. She's not ready. Like, it's like, yeah, just rushed her to the moon because she blonde and because she got a cool finisher. But Becky came in, and this was shorter than I thought it was going to be because, you know, Becky was talking a lot of shit. And then during the match, Ruca went for the Soul Snatcher. Becky pulled the referee in the way. She hit the Soul Snatcher on the referee, botched that too. And then after that, referee Jessica Carr actually disqualified Becky Lynch, you know, and declared Sol the victory. And you know, Wade Barrett kind of does have a point because he was just like, because the referee took a Soul Snatcher from Sol Ruca, why was Sol not disqualified? If anything, like, you disqualified Becky Lynch, you know, because Becky pulled you in front of the way. but you didn't disqualify Sol Ruka for actually hitting you with a finisher. So, I mean, that was kind of like referee's discretion, but Becky can always use that to further the beef that she has with Jessica Carr and say that, like it was rigged. Because if anything, it should have been a double disqualification because you pulled the referee and then you soul snatched the referee. So it should have been a double disqualification. So I can see Becky making a thing out of the fact that they gave Sol the victory after she hit the ref with a soul snatcher. But they did say that they were going to have their rematch at Clash in the Castle in Italy. So Sol will get a rematch then. It'll be a longer and a better match. She better not win that damn belt because the girl ain't ready. But I said, but the man, well, Sol wins the match, but the man retains, and now we're waiting for the rematch at Clash in Italy. Then we had the men's Intercontinental Championship. It was all ego Ethan Page versus Penta, and I give it to Ethan Page. Like Ethan Page put up a damn good fight. Like he put up there. I mean, there was honestly a small moment where I actually considered that maybe they were going to let him win. But Penta still hasn't defended the Intercontinental Championship on AAA. So he is not going to lose the Intercontinental Championship to anybody on Raw until he defends that shit on AAA, because he kept saying how he was going to defend it on AAA, and he has not defended it on AAA yet. Towards the end of this match, Ethan Page removed the turnbuckle, and then when the referee caught him, and then the referee went to put the turnbuckle back onto the corner, he removed another turnbuckle, and then he ran Penta's chest into it, got the roll up, but Penta kicked out, and then Penta ended up hitting him with the turnbuckle, and then he came off the middle rope to do the Mexican Destroyer, hit the Mexican Destroyer, got the 1-2-3 victory. Like, Penta is still the Intercontinental Champion, and it was a good effort by Ethan Page, definitely. So more on him to come, but it's not his time yet, because because Penta still got to reign supreme, and I'm still waiting for that AAA title defense as we conclude to the next one. The women's tag team championship match was next. Nia Jax and Lash Legend versus Paige and Brie Bella. I'm in the extreme minority here. There is a strong part of me that is honestly entertained by Paige and Brie's title run. And I guess it's because they're probably more likable than Nikki is. Because once you put Nikki in the mix, it kind of makes you feel like you're a heel. But Brie actually comes across as like a face. Like Paige, the redemption for Paige is awesome. I don't like Lash Legend lost to Tiffany Stratton on Smack. I don't like shit like that, because ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell no Tiffany Stratton being no Lash Legend. I don't like how they be doing Lash dirty. But they it was Nia that actually took the pin for this one, because in the end, when Paige got the tag on Brie, Nia went to go charge her into the corner. Paige basically did like the sunset flip, and then when she was able to roll Nia up into the roll-up pin, Brie was behind them, and Brie used her foot, stuck it right in the taint, and got the additional leverage to make sure that Nia couldn't kick out of the pin. And I actually thought that was cool, because although they're baby faces, them cheating to win, it's perfect, and it makes perfect sense for their character, because since they're the underdogs all the time and they're not supposed to beat anybody, it's nice to see them get these sneak victories, and you don't feel like they're being heels, because you feel like they're just two underdogs that's just doing what they got to do to survive. So I'm happy to see them with the tag team championships for as long as Nikki will allow it, because we all know Nikki Bell's going to come back and shut this whole shit down, and then she's going to be beefing with Paige at some point. But I wouldn't mind seeing like Nia and Lash, end up getting another title run. What I would actually like to see, I would like to see Lash Legend defeat Tiffany Stratton for the United States Women's Championship, and then when Michin and B-Fab have a tag team title match against Brie and Paige, have Michin and B-Fab win the women's tag team titles off the assist of Lash Legend, and let Lash Legend join the group with Jade, Michin and B-Fab, and just let all four of them have the gold when Jade eventually beats Rhea Ripley. But that's just me. But we'll see what happens. But good tag team. It was a good tag team match. Like, I'm not going to shit on them like most people do. I actually enjoy their run so far. It was actually good. They're doing more than Tiffany Stratton. So I say a good match by all parties involved, and we're moving on. And finally, the main event, it was the World Tag Team Championships, The Vision versus the Street Profits. We Want the Smoke is a better track than Bring the Swag, but I know they're sticking with Bring the Swag because it's more of a babyface theme song, which gets the crowd involved. So because it gets the crowd involved, I know they're keeping with that, but I honestly wish they would have stuck with We Want the Smoke because that's honestly a better track. But the match star Paul Heyman was at ringside, like he was in the Vision's corner as always. Good tag team match. Street Profits got like the new gold, like outfits out there. During the match, Braun Breaker showed up, and he should, because if they're a stable, they should be helping to cheat for one another. And I'm surprised Joe Hendry didn't show up. I'm surprised Seth Rollins didn't show up. They just allowed a 4-on-1. Paul Heyman put Austin Theory's foot on the rope at one point, like when they got the pin. It was basically like a 4-on-2 match with like the entire Vision versus the Street Profits, and Seth Rollins and Joe Hendry never even showed up to like back the well, I guess Seth wouldn't show up because like Ford just kept telling him to leave us alone. But for Joe Hendry, it don't make no sense why Joe Hendry ain't show up. But but due to all that outside interference and some brass knuckle tactics, the Vision ended up getting the pinfall victory, and then after that they beat up the Street Profits in the post match, which Joe Hendry and Seth still did not show up for that either. And the Vision is standing tall. Paul Heyman, Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and Braun Breaker, and everybody, just like relish in the Vision, but know that big Bronson Reed is in the shadows, and there's going to be a moment where he's going to show up and help them win big, but it's probably not going to be until maybe SummerSlam if they do Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns. But that was it. That was how this particular Saturday night's main event ended, which I actually thought was a good show. Like, I give the show like an 8.5. Like, it was a solid good show. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed it, and thank you for tuning in. So let me know what your thoughts are for next week's Clash in Italy. Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to lose? And we will continue to talk about it. Check me out all over social media, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok, where you can leave those questions, comments, and or concerns. But until then, we'll see you at Clash in Italy next week for all your wrestling desires. So until then, guys, take care. So for Saturday night's main event, happy Memorial Day to you all, and we're out this